So shalom, shalom to all my brothers and sisters out there. I'm glad that you just clicked to watch this message today. Today, I'm going to be touching on a very important topic, and that is a topic about, voodoo. And generally, what has to, the effect, the side effect, and how people who are diving into it who do not really understand the depth of what they are dealing with, because on my previous message, which I've made, some time ago, in regards to voodoo, I remember, having a lot of traditional people, who were trying to, speak out things which they themselves do not really understand so much, in regards to African spirituality when it comes to the voodoo, the presentation which was being said, to the children of Israel. You need to be able to understand, because when we talk about the spirituality in regards to African voodoo, when I use the term African voodoo, I'm talking about generally, people following the way which has already been laid down, just literally, just like saying, that this is the tradition of the land. You need to be able to understand the higher pictures, the higher revelations of things which are going on, and the reason why the children of Israel were told not to be part of those particular kind of things, And so this is why we are here today, my brothers and sisters out there, because we're going to be talking about that particular issue in regards to African spirituality and voodoo, because it is something that is very, very important for we to be able to really understand and understand, the real secrets, the mysteries that is surrounding it, So when we go to the history of the scripture, you hear what the scripture said in regards to the people who went into the land of Canaan. And before they dive and go into the land of Canaan, a lot of things were being said to the children of Yasharel. And those words which were being spoken to them is that, remember and take heed, so that when you go into the land of these people, that is talking about the land of Canaan, do not go and be following the way that they themselves are following. And so this brings us into the topic that we are about to discuss today, which is when we talk about voodoo, what is the connection of voodoo, to the people who are called the chosen, or to the people who are called the children of Israel, and why blood is being needed, and why people are diving into something that they themselves do not really understand the deep mystery in regards to it. So what am I saying, my brothers and sisters out there? When you go into the scripture, the people who were being told to go into the land of Canaan, but not to be part of the way that the people of the Canaanites are behaving, are the children of Israel. The land of the Canaanites are primarily doing what they know how to do best. But you, as a visitor into the land of the Canaanites, you have a way, you have a word which was being spoken to you by your mighty one, not to be part of these people. So now, the thing that you need to be able to understand is, what then is the way of life of these people? What is the way of the life of the people of Canaanite? And the people now who came in as the children of Israel, now borrowing or following the life of these people who are the Canaanites, what are they really getting themselves into when it comes to them diving into the same blood sacrifices? Remember what the scripture said in regards to the children of Israel: do not let your children pass through the fire. But there are so many children of Israel, there are people who are out there who are part of the children of Israel now, who are diving into, who are now going into those particular acts and not seeing the repercussions of things which they are already entangling themselves with. What am I saying? Today you hear and you see a lot of people. It's not that it is something that has started today, but it has been something that has been for a very long time. People make sacrifices. Recently you hear about a lot of people, talking about, making blood sacrifices in order to generate all different kind of, quick solutions to something which they are looking for. It could be, quick solution. They just want to go everything quick in order to get whatsoever that they are looking for. So by so doing, they tend to be able to do what? To go the fastest means. Now, what is the scripture saying in regards to those particular ways? And what is the repercussions of things which is happening based on that particular fast lane? Because this fast lane is that these people now go in, they get a priest. Now, this priest or this voodoo priest will be able to do what? Would prepare a concoction on behalf of these people. Because these people now, I want to show you the spiritual side effects or the spiritual journey that is being undertaken. Because like I said, that particular action which people are taking decision in order to go and meet these people, do not forget that you are doing what? You are committing and you are already putting yourself into debt in the hand of this particular priest, in the hand of these particular people who are trying to make these sacrifices on your behalf, because the bloods that you are going to be using in order to do what? In order to make those sacrifices, those are classified spirits. Before they were being held down, those are classified. You can call it goats, you can call it your cow. Now, the blood of those things which are being shed in order to do what? In order to give you what you need to use in this time, the blood of those things are what? Are blood of these are blood of what? Of a cast down spirit. So it is going to be required of you. You don't understand what is going on when it comes to this particular voodoo. And now you see people who are diving into it, not knowing what they are doing. Now, what these priests do is to be able to request from these individuals to go, because they are going to be preparing something for them on behalf of what they requested from the priest. We are talking about things which has happened before and things which are happening now, but are coming to light. Now I'm telling you the repercussions and the effect of things which a lot of people are diving into, not knowing the repercussion of what? Of these things. Voodoo is something that you being an individual, you being somebody who is coming from eternity, you are in this particular contemporary time. If you are part of the people who are the chosen one, who are the children of Israel, you are not supposed to be playing role in order to be diving into those things. Why is it like that? Because I have said this before. Because what you are literally doing is that you are tapping into your own future, which you have not appeared there yet, in order to live a life today. And while you are doing that, you are already putting yourself in debt to that spirit that helped you to do that consultation. So this is what happened today. You see a lot of young people today. Now what happened? They are running in order to do what? To go and do this particular voodoo, to get their own, to get money, to get wealth, to get favor, to get whatsoever they have, to get contracts, to get different kind of things. Now, what they are diving into, like I said, is the blindfolding of, they are being blindfolded into what? Into diving into that particular field, because they could not see the repercussion that follows. And what are the repercussions that follows this? The moment that you begin to ask this priest to help you to make those consultations, what do you think that this particular priest is going to do? Number one thing that this particular priest, I'm telling you out of experience, things that people know, things that sons and mighty ones know before their manifestation. What do you think that this particular priest is going to do? The thing that this particular priest are going to do in order to help you in your consultations is to first of all do what? Call to his own God, call to his own what? They call gods. So he has a name which he is attaching you to. So when you are being attached because you seek to go under that particular priest to help you make that consultation. So that particular priest now help you in order to consult from another word which you know nothing about. And from that particular word, they require you to be able to do what? To present sacrifices. Now, these sacrifices could be in the form of what? In the form of humans. These sacrifices could be in the form of blood, different kind of blood. It could be a blood of an animal. It could be a blood of a human if you don't understand it. And now you bring those things, and what happened? They helped you to use it in order to do what? To prepare a concoction, to prepare a pot of concoction. And through this particular pot of concoction, what happened now? They will give it to you, but you do not know what is contained, how they made those things happen. Because before they could be able to go into those particular things, they require your name. They want your permission, to give them a permission to undertake this, which means you are tying your own spirit to the spirit of that particular priest who is helping you to do that particular work. So, and that priest, knowing the gods which he's consulting, is going to do what? He's going to call to those particular gods in order to do what? To help you. So what they are literally doing is they are going from a different word in order to pick up something from another word, in order to borrow, still get a lot of things from another word in order to do what? To give it to you. And now you are here thinking that you are enjoying, not knowing that you have sold. You have sold so many things that are actually supposed to be part of your life. Literally, for example, your children could be involved along the line to pay the price of what you have done. Your womb could be in line to pay for the price of what you have done by diving into this act of what? Act of voodooism through this particular. Because what happened is that they ask you to be able to go and bring cow, to go and bring goats. You go and then you bring all those things. But you do not know the effect that this particular goats and these particular cows that you are bringing onto these people, for these sacrifices. Time is going to come, the spirit that those particular priests consulted would require more for you to renew those particular, that particular concoction which they have prepared for you. And this renewal, they do not need your consent, because you have already come to them and have given them the warranty to go ahead in order to do what? To help you walk that concoction. So they do not need your permission after you have provided the first and the second request. I don't know if you're really understanding what is going on here. We're talking about what? About the dangers into what? Into voodooism. So they will not be able to tell you those particular parts. So what happened? You are literally going to do what? You are now going to be going after, following them in order to do what? To get those things. What I'm saying, my dear brothers and sisters, is that at the time that people began to dive into those particular action, what happened is that you are indebting yourself to that particular priest, because the priest will help you get what you want to use it in that particular time. But that is not going to be the end of it. Because remember that this particular priest, these particular people are what? Are spirits. Your native doctor, for example, is just a physical connector to that particular spirit realm that he is helping you in order to do what? To connect. So now that spirit that he is helping you to connect now is the one that demanded the blood of the cow. Is the one that demanded the blood of the goat. Is the one that demanded the vulture. Is the one that demanded the cowries. Is the one that demanded all other things that needed to be used in order to make this particular, sacrifice. Is the one that demanded the breast of a female. Is the one that demanded the private part of a female. It is that spirit that demanded it.
So people go and they get those things in order to do what? To give to those particular spirits so that that concoction will be made. But there is a problem there. This does not end there, because this same spirit which was being consulted is not going to need your permission for subsequent actions which they are going to be taking, because you have already, the spirit world does not run like the same one in the physical, where you would do something and then you would just say, okay, you quit the contract or something. No. You have given them a go ahead. And so they will provide you with that at that particular time, requesting you to be able to bring this and bring that, bring this and bring that, in order for that concussion to happen. And after that concussion has happened, what is going to be holding you hostage in that particular chain is that they helped you. They are like your helpers to be able to tap into another realm, to use another thing in order to do what? To supply you to use in this time. So therefore you are indebted to them. You must have to do what? To pay them. And in order for you to pay them, that means you're giving up your authority to be under them. And therefore they can use you. They can manipulate over you. They can request from you something without your own consent. Are you getting what is going on here? What do I mean that they are going to request something from you without your consent? Okay, people, you go and you make those particular voodoo, right? After making those particular voodoo and everything, the concussion and everything, you think that those particular gifts that you brought, literally those particular blood that you supply from the goat and from the cow is just that is enough. And you think that is where everything ended. No. Time is coming for the renewal of those particular, contract that you have with it. They are going to automatically renew it. And how are they going to renew it? They are going to demand for your son. They are going to demand for your daughter. They are going to demand for your womb. You cannot you can't have a child. You can't have a baby. You can't get married. They are going to be going after something that your mind cannot even comprehend. You wouldn't even know. Why? Because you have already, so they are using your future to give you something in this particular time before you were even born in that world to come. Because while you were even born in that particular world, you are nothing but a piece of time, because you ain't got no energy, number one. In order to be able to do what? To stand and to come on feeding is going to be what? Is going to be a very big problem for you. What do I mean by this? Because you cannot be able to do what? To survive in that world of the spirit, because you got no energy. The energy that you're supposed to survive with, you have utilized it here by borrowing while you are here from the spirit world in order to utilize it here. So you are already indebted to those particular what? Consultants, those people, to those spirits who help you do those consultations. This is the reason why you need to be able to understand the reason why you are here. Because you are here in order to do what? To work things out rightly. The reason why the children of Israel, we are being told not to be part of the Canaanite, is because the Most High the Most High do not want you to be under any nation, any God of any nation. Do you really understand how massive this is? That the children of the Most High subjecting themselves under something that they themselves are older than. This is what gets the Most High angry towards the people that he calls his own children. How can you be a chosen one and yet you are running, trying to be able to do what? To tap into what? Into a spirit that you are older than, just because you are blind. You can't see, you cannot struggle, you can't work things out within the paradigm that you were being brought in. Because if your eyes is being opened and you understood the power that is being given to you within this third dimensional paradigm, then you would know that even those spirits that you are trying to consult, that they are trying to consult, you are even more stronger than they are. And you can work this out, but no, because you are being blindfolded through religion. So you can't see. And this is why you are going through that route, in order to do what? To use all these familiar spirits who call themselves native doctors to go and seek for something that you have no idea the repercussions of it. What I'm telling you, my dear brothers and sisters, is that you need to be able to really wake up and understand that there is a trickery game which has been played. And now this is why you see at this particular time, this menace, this thing is rising in order to get hold of so many people. Because why? This is the time of rising. And the moment that you are being raised, if you are not being given the right education, knowledge in the spirit, then those particular entities which have already come in here to suck blood, they are going to walk through these people. Now imagine what is going on today now in the west coast of Africa. You see a lot of people. Something that people were being stoned and were being killed for doing before, today suddenly it's becoming a normal stuff. What is it? They call it Okeite. In Igbo language, they call it Okeite. Young boys diving into something which they know nothing about. They're diving into something which is stealing every bit of thing from them, spiritually and physically. Some of them cannot, in the near future, they cannot be able to do what? To have children. They cannot be able to have babies. They cannot be able to get married. They cannot be able to perform. They cannot be able to do, to even, you see, their parents or whatsoever, they are going to make them useless along the line. Why? Because the things which they dive into right now is affecting the lineage through which they came out from. Why? Because if somebody who is not strong among those lineage, you see that those kind of thing is going to do what now affects that particular individual. Now, this is the reason why you need to be able to understand. Like I said, today you see so many who are the children of Israel who are now being deviated into following the way of the Canaanites. The Canaanites, they let their children pass through fire. They said they let them pass through fire. They use their children for sacrifices. You understand what is going on? And when the children of Israel went into the land of Canaan, they were told not to follow the way of the Canaanites. Why? Why do you think it was like that? Because the Canaanites, they can do what they can. They are ready to be able to do what? To borrow from their future. To live time now. It's just like, people flashing their lives, what they call life, fake life. Flashing it in this particular physical by tapping into power that is coming from another dimension, and they are utilizing those particular power in this time. Now you are tapping into a power that is coming from another dimension to use it in this time by sacrificing a goat, by sacrificing a chicken, by sacrificing a cow, by sacrificing human parts. You are going into human parts. They cut breasts. They give you, they cut private parts. They give you as a babalao, you as a native doctor, they cut the tongue. They give to you. You use those things. You put in a pot. You do your concussion. You boldly give it. This is what I was saying. These people were people who were on the run a few years ago, whom were being chased, and they came out in this particular time to continue their kind of deception in this particular. They were being chased. But now they are coming out boldly to deceive the young people, to go into this particular menace, into these atrocities of doing blood monies. Blood money is nothing more than sacrificing your own being, literally selling their own soul to that particular entity, which is in control of is now going to be in control of their destiny, because they gave right to those particular entity to do it. And so what is going to happen? They remove them. They remove them. Like I said, they can demand anything from them even without their consent. And this has put so many into trap, because these people now cannot be able to do what? To live. because they are the ones that put themselves into that particular stage. The children of Israel are to work things out. Because why? The power to work things out is inside of them. They are in this time for a reason. And this time is a time that, when they are able to do what? To discover the power of Yahuwah inside of them. The power of truth inside of them. That would open up their eyes to see that this thing that they are trying to dive into, or that they are trying, this route that they are trying to go, is actually a trap that was being set. A trap that was being set. It's just like the same thing that you see people coming up from frying pan trying to say that that you are not going to be a Christian. Being a Christian is this, and then yet they present you with that Shabbat of a thing. It's the same thing with what is going on among the traditionalists today. They are present, more especially you go into the Igbo tribe today. You hear them talk about what they call, the name which they call Okeite, Neite. They use these terms in order to identify a certain kind of sacrifices that need to be done for the younger generation to be stealing their destiny from the future for them to use it in this particular time. So they prepare concoctions for them on their behalf. And this is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying in my message 4 or 5 years ago. To let you understand how these particular things work. That these particular beings, like I said, they were the ones in the Bible, when the Bible talked about and said that when you see them, these sorcerers, these people who are trying, what are you going to do with them? Hold them and be able to do what? Tie them and destroy all their shrines. The children of Israel were warned. Now my message is what is to the children of Israel. For other land, for the people of the Canaanite, I am not speaking to them because they are doing what their ancestors are doing. Understand it. Because the message is not for everyone who cannot comprehend it. If you are among the children of Canaan, then that means you are doing what your ancestors did. There is to you, it is not a problem, but not to the children of Israel. Understand this. The children of Israel, they are peculiar people. This is the reason why they were being given instructions. This is why when their father speaks, when their mother nature speaks, they hear because their instinct already tells them everything. You need to be able to understand what is going on. Like I said, today, you hear a lot of things going on in the eastern part of Nigeria, where some young boys are coming up in order to deceive so many people by preparing a concoction which they call Okeite. And this particular concoction, they do not know, those young boys do not know that so many of their destiny are going to be tied based on what they have already given, the instruction based on, the power they gave to those high priests that helped them to consult in the spiritual. This is exactly what I've been speaking about longest time ago. Now, so many of them are out there today. I remember the ones that the Most High used me in order to raise, and they are not playing in those particular fields. They overstood. Now, this is why I'm speaking to all those who are involved, and even those who I have raised through this particular channel. That the moment that you are diving into those particular things, you are going deep into those things, you are bringing condemnation completely, not only unto yourself, because I know that some of these particular high priests even do not even know they are also being deceived the same way that you see that people who say that they are leaders and they are trying to push people under the back to Torah are being deceived on. We're telling you about things which has happened in the ancient of times, because we are the manifest, the revelators of a lot of things which so many people do not really understand what is going on when it comes to African spirituality, voodoo and what have you. The revelations of these things, The side effect of these things, this particular priest will not tell you because they do not want you to go in that direction. How can you request as a priest? How can you request as a priest in your voodoo shrine someone to get you a cow, a goat? You slaughter that cow and you use the blood. But you are not telling them the repercussion that that particular blood of the cow or a goat has an expiration time. That if you did not renew it after a certain time, this particular thing, this particular concoction is going to request for human head. And some of you, I know, goes as far as requesting human sacrifice, like their tongue, their breast, their private part and other things, in order to do your fetish sacrifices, which you people are doing. Lest thou lifted up thy eyes, and you see how these nations are behaving, and you are being tempted in order to do what? To follow in their own footstep. This is the word of this particular dimension. You need to be able to understand. These traditionalists, because I'm out here for them, the difference with them, the traditionalists and the back to Taurus are not much. But today, like I said, I'm here in order to do what? To deal on the topic, on the issue of this particular voodoo, African spirituality in the land of the Canaanites. And then this thing which find its way into the people who are in the eastern part of Nigeria, which is today, they call it Okeite. These people used to be used to run the hell. Now today they are coming out boldly, doing consultations, doing concussions for younger generations to deceive them into going into these particular practices. But like I said, they are never going to be telling them the repercussions which they are going to be getting. But we as spiritual beings are giving you, if you have your knowledge intact, if you have your instinct to be able to do what? To watch. Know the repercussion of what you are trying to dive yourself into, because these are the things which we have been sent in order to open up your eyes to see. You hear some people giving you warning how their father are being used for sacrifices, but you don't know how. How their children are being used for sacrifices, but you don't know how. Some people cannot give birth because you don't know how these things will happen. You don't know that if you're not strong, somebody in your family could be an instrument which was being used. Because of the foolishness of that individual going under something that he or she did not know about, that thing now had to be able to do what? To deviate into another lineage in order to get hold of somebody. And by so doing, trapping that individual. Today, young people in that eastern part of Nigeria, they are diving into, and this is what I was saying, that yes, you see the governor of Anambra State trying to be able to curb this menace, these kind of things. But I want you to be able to understand, like I said, it is not just about curbing it first. It is about going to the root of this matter, and the cause of all these things is things which are going to be attributed back all the way from what was being taught to them by Catholicism. They made them so soft. They made them see idol as a normal stuff. They made them see it as something that is just common stuff. And by so doing now, they are able, this is to let you understand how these game are being played. How can you tackle these things when you have not tackled the bigger thing which is in your domain? You've not tackled about Catholicism, bringing in their Virgin Maria, their idols, and every other thing, using the bloods of different humans on planet Earth. What we are saying, my dear brothers and sisters out there, is that you need to be able to understand how the trickery of these particular agents of darkness are operating. These agents of darkness are here. They are working. Like I said, my message is not for for the children of Canaan that I'm talking to them right now on this particular message, because the Canaanites, they can go on and be doing what they know how to do best. But my message is for the children of the Hebrew Israelite, the children of Israel, who we have been warned. Now you are seeing, now you are understanding the repercussions of this. Because what is going on is that you don't want to tap into your future. You don't know that you are an eternity being. You don't know that your journey here for 120 years, 130 years is nothing to compare to where you're going to. Oh, or you don't believe in afterlife? Now, if you believe in afterlife, why are you completely giving it up into the hand of what? Of cockroaches, of cankerworms, into the hands of what? Of demons, into the hand of people that you know nothing about their own, the way that they operate, the way that they are operating, they are going to be handling your own future for you. You give it up by going under them, requesting them to give you something to live for this time. When you live for this time by borrowing those things, who do you think that you are indebted to? You are indebted to them. So therefore, before you come out in that world, you are already in minus. This is what I've been saying. And this thing is getting so paramount, so rampant at the moment in regards to those people who are still blind. Be led in the word where, just like an abyss, where their energy is going to be sucked and then be recycled, sucked and be recycled over and over again. Why? Because they know now, their whole life will be revolved about that particular priest that helped them do those sacrifices. This is who their gods are on this particular earth. The way you see Roman Catholics have their own gods controlling the earth, the people that help them to do those consultations and consult those spirits who allow them to be able to present those particular sacrifices. The way that these people are going to be is that they are going to be subjected under those particular spirits, whereas the priest itself is subjected under the spirit that gave it the power. So the consulter will be able to call on the God that he knows that is going to walk, is going to go a back way in order to get what they want for you. And this is why you see so many people have been tied. Don't you understand what is going on in the scripture when the Bible said that somebody was being called in order to resurrect the dead, and then he said no, he won't do it. But another warlock was being called, and then she said, okay, she's going to do it. And then she resurrected who? Samuel. She resurrected who? Samuel. But the moment that she did it, how did she do it? She did it through what? Through her sorcery, right? Through the witchcraft which they have been operating on. They did it in order to do what? After doing it, what happened? The Bible makes us to understand that particular spirit that came up told that particular one that this is what is going to give you. Want this, and this is how you're going to get it. Because the same spirit were the ones who were being chased to chop their head off, but they ran. But suddenly somebody had to consult them in order to help them bring in up somebody from the dead. And those people now letting you know that these are the sorcerers who want to get to know things which has happened and things which are going to happen through their sorcery. What am I saying, my dear brothers and sisters out there? We need to be able to understand how these things work. We're talking about, the trend of things which is going on. When it comes to the younger generations, more especially in the eastern part of Nigeria, like I said, when the Canaanites in Africa do it, it's not a problem. But when the children of Israel start diving into it, who do you think that taught them that? Exactly. They saw it among the Canaanites whom they are among in, whom they are surrounded by. They learned it just the same way that you see that the children of Israel, when they went into the land of Egypt, what happened to them while they were in Egypt? They learned the way of the Egyptians. So when they came out from Egypt, they wanted to do, they did, not that they wanted, they built a god. They molded a god in the form of a molten calf to worship the true creator, Yahuwah Elohim. Where did they get that idea from? It was from the land of Kemet, which they were strangers in. This is where they learned that. And they were told not to do what, not to learn. This is the reason why you need to be able to understand what is going on in West Africa. The people who sojourned among the Canaanites in that particular land, they are now learning the way of the land of the Canaanites. But not knowing the magnitude of what they are directly dealing with. That they are dealing with what, with different spirits and principalities which are in different places. And those spirits are going to be the ones that are going to do what? To be controlling their whole destiny. Therefore, they request whatsoever they want, they get it. Because they have already given them what? The mandate to run their life on their behalf. A lot of these idols that you see, this is not the way of life of the children of Israel. This is not the way of the life of the original people who are called the children of Israel. These are the way of the Canaanite. Yeah, but some people are borrowing that lifestyle. I've told you before. You need to be able to comprehend this and put this into your mind. That the children of Israel are peculiar. You are not like every other nation of a people. The nations of those other people, they are on their own, doing their own thing, but not you, not you. You need to be able to understand what is going on, my dear brothers and sisters out there. This is a trap. This is a giant trap that has already been made to a lot of souls down here. Because so many people who are called the extraterrestrials or the extra beings which are already here, they take here as their home. So the only way that they can be able to do what? To continue getting more energy through is to deceive these people through, in the spirit realm, and then continue recycling those particular people to suck the energy. So because what happens is that you will see continuous evil. They will go, they will kill somebody, they will take her parts or his part. They would use those particular parts in order to do what? To make sacrifice in order to renew their destiny when they are being demanded to do those. This is what you see. Because why? You are being indebted into something that you cannot. This is why you see so many people are having so much mysteries. Because they have so much debt in their neck. Spiritually, they are what they are. They are empty. They can survive in the world where survival is what is for the stronger. You remember what is going on during the time of David and what happened and other kings of Israel. What happened? As a king, you are to lead the war in the forefront. This is no longer like today when a king will come and then he will be commanded without going on the war front. In order for that to happen, the things that David them did to lead wars in the war front, you need to have a spiritual power. It is not being done with an ordinary hand. You have to have a spiritual power to come into that war, to be a king and lead a congregation of people to war and win that war. Because that war is not the war that you just sit down and then you command. No. You lead by example, but people who are not strong in that spirit war because they have already lost their spiritual powers here, they cannot survive in that world. How can they survive? How can they survive in that world when they have already exhausted to all their lives? By subjecting themselves under what? Under the gods of the Canaanites. My brothers and sisters, this is why the message is going out to the children of Israel. The Canaanites have their way of life. They can let their children go through the fire. They can let their children go through whatsoever, and that is their word. That is their way of life, but not to the children of Israel. When the Bible said that what I have chosen you unto Yahweh to be unto me, that is literally to be a peculiar person unto. This is a strong word. Don't you understand what that means? It's not about being deceived by the actions of these nations. That they are trying to be able to do what, to entangle you into what, into believing, into following the way of life of other nations when you have your own mighty one. Just like the same thing that is being done, to the children of Israel today. Like I said, what happened? They are being deceived into following other gods. And what happened? You are being subjected under that particular god that you are following. This is the reason why a lot of suffering is going on among them. Because why? They are being subjected under the gods of other nations. This is why you see so much bloodshed in a grand scale magnitude, which Catholicism is responsible. This is the reason why the Bible said that he martyred the early apostles so much, based on what? On the blood of the early saints. What I'm saying, my dear brothers and sisters, is that you need to be able to understand how the enemy operates in order to get to their targets, in order to get to their prey within the third dimensional paradigm. Today in West Africa now, it's just like the same beings who are running away, hiding to commit their atrocities, suddenly are coming out, making it as if it is a normal thing to have what they call money rituals, human rituals. And this is exactly where the problem lies, because a lot of young, vibrant generations are now being lured into those particular, scheme, being deceived. And what happened in return? Their own energy, their own life is completely being sucked, because they are naked, they are exposed, they are very naked. And when they are naked, what happened? They can easily be struck onto. So anybody can be able to do what, to just get them and use them how they want. This is the reason why you need to be able to be in the spirit of Yahuwah, to be inclined in the knowledge of truth. This is the reason why when you go into the book of, what does the Bible say? The Bible says that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You're making a sacrifice, you're killing a goat, you're killing a cow, shedding the blood of those animals. Don't you know that don't you know or understand that those particular animals that you're killing are classified souls? Don't you understand that those particular, goats and cows that you're killing, don't you understand that they are classified souls? That were being held down here because of some certain reason from the spirit realm into this particular physical body, they took on another body. Now you use them for sacrifice, and you think that you're not going to pay the debts that you owe. And even some, they went to an extent of trying to be able to get the human parts in order to undertake their own sacrifices. For those particular people who requested those particular sacrifices, to live it in a way, to be living a fake reality, while putting themselves into a debt that they cannot be able to pay for eternity. All their life they will be in debt to those particular priests that help them in order to do what, to run those particular shows. I told you, ever wondered why the Indians are worshiping cow? You don't know nothing about it. Because this is why they know 100% within their own mind that their ancestors can appear in the form of a cow. That the spirit of their ancestors can reside and take on a new body. And that particular body, this is the reason why they had to be able to worship that particular, that body of a cow, because they believe that the spirit of that particular cow inhabits their ancestors. But you don't understand what you're dealing with. You think that those particular animals that you just kill anyhow for your sacrifices are just ordinary cows? No, it is specific ones that are being requested by those particular spirits for you to use to do your sacrifice, and you use it, you tie so many people's destiny. You use it to be able to do what? To deceive so many people. And then you get them. After you get them, they make that simple life looking like life is good for them when they are in a big mess. Our message is to the children of Yasharal, to the Hebrew children, to understand and understand the traps which has already been set while you are walking this journey towards eternity. That you are here today spending 150 years, 130 years. This is not the end of everything. You are on a journey experiencing something within this particular time and space. You still got a long way to go. Now, where are you coming out in? This is what I've been telling so many. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. You are in a journey that leads towards eternity, but you are experiencing a space in the time that we are in now. And this experience that you are taking here is going to determine, is going to matter how are you going to live your other, your life towards that echoes of eternity. Because you can see, you can hear, you can feel. Your decision now here is going to determine what is going to be the outcome. So if you are taking a wrong decision now to be under the gods of other nations, then you got yourself to blame. Because you are the one that did what, that allowed them to be able to do what, to penetrate you and use you and remove you from behind. Like I say, this trend of money ritual is getting so irritating that so many youths are just blindly, like a sheep to the slaughter, following what they know nothing about. And this has been the message to the children of light, to those who have ears to hear. The message is not for the children of Canaan. It is not for other land. It's for the children of Israel. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. You are to work things out within the paradigm that you are being sent. And while you are there working it out, you have everything. You are a full package before you were being sent within this paradigm. You have everything to survive this particular paradigm that you are manifested in. Everything you need in order to survive within this particular paradigm that you survived, that you came in. So you selling your soul by trying to use a back door to think that someone would be able to do what, to do sacrifices with goats, with ram, with cow, with human body, human parts and everything, and help you escape, or help you use a backyard to go out, to go against it. You are just blind. Without repercussion, you're just blind. You've been deceived. And this is why I'm making the message, in order to be able to shout out and speak to my brothers and sisters out there, to open up their eyes, to see and understand what is going on. And I pray, may the Most High, whose name is Yahuwah, be the one to elevate you and give you a higher revelation to the reality of what is going on. That people who indulge in blood sacrifices, allowing their son to go through the fire,
And using those particular things, they are indebted. They are indebted to the spirits that provided them that. And therefore, they can't go out from that tangling which they have entangled themselves. So therefore, they are committed under the shackles, under the shackles of that particular king, or of that particular spirit that is providing that thing to them. Because before you can do anything, you consult that babalawo, you consult that voodoo priest. That voodoo priest will help you consult a spirit. And that voodoo priest has a name that they do use in order to do their consultation. And so you are indebted to that particular name which this voodoo priest help you to do the consultation through. And you're going to pay. You're going to pay. You don't just think that you are going to just do these things and then you let it go. If you don't turn around, and cleave to your own Elohim, your own mighty one, see where you're going to. You're going to a place of no return. You're putting yourself into a place where you don't know nothing about. I pray may the Most High, whose name is Yahuwah, be exalted and be praised always in the name of Yahushua. May you all remember, look, my brothers and sisters out there, and may you all remain strong in the name of Yahushua. I say to you all, remain strong. Shalom, my brothers and sisters out there. Shalom to you all. Shalom, shalom. Let me see, maybe if there's any question or something. No question, so we're good to go.